Well, in light of Sandra's comments, hands up those of you who thought that our renovation project was never actually going to start. I'll confess that I also have shared those thoughts from time to time. But I've got good news. We expect the renovations to commence in the second half of July. So let's take a moment and step back on where we've come from. So this congregation 24 years ago took a step in faith and moved into this modified warehouse in the growth corridor of Ballarat. Now, God has done some amazing things through that time, through this congregation here, but we know that our building has some constraints on us, and I think of the facilities for the kids and the youth ministry, the size of the kitchen, and of course the toilets, amongst other things. And so a few years ago we set about establishing a master plan of what we would do with this space so that this congregation could continue to flourish here for the next quarter of a century. And then last year, the whole congregation here took part in the Daring Faith campaign. And God, I think, moved mightily in many people's hearts. And together we pledged around about $1 million to make a start on that master plan. Now, in the last year or so, we've been working very hard just seeing how far can we stretch those funds and what are the most priority things that we want to do. And so the good news is that it's all about to start. Now, this phase one of our project is going to focus on 3 things that will improve our ministries. We're going to transform the hall where we have kids and youth, make it less industrial and a lot more functional. We're going to double the size of the kitchen. And of course, toilets. Not only are we going to double the number of toilets that we have, but we are going to have dedicated kids' toilets in the kids' ministry area and adults' toilets closer to the auditorium. So this project, as I said, is going to start in a couple of weeks, we expect, and church is not going to stop through the duration of this project. This project is going to take the better part of a year, okay? But church won't stop, but we will be trying to operate without access to a significant part of our facilities, including our front entrance. So we're going to have to make some adjustments. Now, the key things you're going to see are, first of all, the main entrance to church is going to be through the northern car park via the double glass doors next to the cafe, not through this entrance over here. So we'll be coming in that way for the duration of the project. We're creating extra storage, such as these cabinets at the back of the auditorium here already started, so that we can store all the things we need to store for the duration of the project. Kids ministry is going to operate in the open plan area of the office and accessible through those front office doors. And of course, toilets. We are going to have the pleasure of portaloos in the northern car park. There'll be a number of them, including a disabled toilet that we'll have access to throughout the duration of the project. Now, I'm sure there are other things that we haven't thought about yet, but I trust that these will be minor inconveniences on the path to a much greater future and a facility that's going to serve us well for a long time. I'd like to just conclude by thanking everybody that took a step of faith last year and were very generous with their pledges towards this program. And I encourage you with that program to continue with your 3-year pledges so that we can complete the project that we have in front of us. I'm also conscious that a number of people may not have been in a position to make a commitment last year, or perhaps you're new to our congregation, but it's not too late. In the pews in front of you, you'll find a brochure like this, a pledge card like this, and there are brochures such as these ones in the foyer, and I encourage you to take one home and to prayerfully consider what contribution you might make. Please bring those pledge cards back within a couple of weeks by the 14th of July. And know this, that any additional funds that are pledged towards this program will be going to additional projects that we couldn't squeeze into phase one. Like, we'd really love to do a new outdoor playground, okay? But we need additional resources to do that. So any additional funds we receive will go that way. And let me just conclude by, I was reminded, I saw in, I think it's Proverbs 16, where it says, people make plans in their hearts, but it's the Lord that guides their steps. So we're taking a step forward in the confidence that it's God that's guiding us through this process. Thank you.